On the 4th of July, we all want to hear about Washington and Jefferson and flags and fireworks, but let me tell you about somebody a whole lot more important and a whole lot more human, John Adams. He was a paradox. He was brilliant, he was committed, he was courageous, but he was also insecure and jealous and often overlooked. And here's the truth. He was one of the true engines behind American independence. And the tension of that very thing, the paradox of the person he was, the leader he was, that is where leadership lessons absolutely live. So let's talk about it. First, we have to go back to 1770. Tensions are boiling in Boston. A group of British redcoats fire on American citizens, and it is a power keg moment. This is the Boston Massacre. People are furious and they want action. They go to John Adams because somebody has to represent him, and John Adams says, yes, I will. Not because he agreed with him, but because he absolutely knew that everybody had really the right to justice and to a fair trial, and he believed that, so he represented them. He risked everything. This was a huge career risk for him to give these soldiers a fair trial. It wasn't, again, because he agreed with them, but it's because he knew that law and fairness was worth more than politics or emotion. That's radical thinking, isn't it? Now, that truly is also leadership, and it's doing the right thing when it's unpopular, when it's risky, and when it could cost you. That's the measure of a leader. So here is what set Adams apart. Here is what made him a force of nature. He could communicate with the best of them like nobody else. He wasn't warm and fuzzy. He wasn't smooth like Jefferson. But when Adams spoke, people absolutely listened. He was fiery, he was passionate, he was persuasive, and he could command a room with clarity and conviction. In fact, he was the one that actually shifted the debate toward American independence, and his words had weight because they came really from his values and that he truly, truly believed them. And if you lead a team today, never underestimate the power of your voice, the megaphone of your leadership. When you communicate in an honest and transparent and authentic way, people will follow. And behind it all, his anchor, Abigail Adams, his wife. Their relationship was more than just romantic. It was strategic and intellectual and mutually respectful. She challenged him, she advised him, and she really, really made sure he thought beyond his ego, and he absolutely needed that. Strong voices need even stronger partners, and Adam had one of the strongest voices out there. Now, fast forward to the Continental Congress. Adams is one of the first to call for complete, absolute independence. He is on fire. He's writing, he's speaking, he's persuading, he's working day and night. He is actually the one that nominated George Washington to lead the Continental Army. He is also the one that really made sure that Jefferson wrote the prose of the Declaration of Independence. Many wanted Adams to really write that because he was the true believer, but he knew that Jefferson would do a much, much better job, so he brought him in, and him and Franklin and Jefferson were the cornerstone and the foundation of writing the Declaration of Independence. He stepped back because he knew somebody was better suited for that, and that truly is the mark of a great leader. Even though someone else is going to get all the credit, you give it away and you do what's best for the organization and best for your team, and that's what Adams did in that moment. Now, here's the thing. Adams did grow bitter. He knew he was being overshadowed, and when he did not get what he perceived as his legacy and his recognition, he did get very, very bitter. And that's real, that's emotional, that's raw, and it's the fact that we never really know what's going on with a leader. So there are people fighting battles we'll never see, and Adams was one of those. And again, along with being bitter, he did hold grudges, and he was hard to like sometimes, but he never stopped serving, never stopped believing, never stopped fighting, and that was the power, and that's why I think of John Adams so often on the 4th of July. He reminds us that leadership isn't perfect. It's about standing for something, it's about doing the hard stuff even when it's not popular, and it's giving away the credit and making sure that everyone gets the recognition that they need and that the right people are in the right place for the right job. So this 4th of July, as we celebrate freedom, take a moment to think about how you lead. Think about what you're doing right. Think about if you're doing the right thing when it's not easy. Think about how you're empowering others and making sure that everyone gets the credit and recognition they deserve, even if it means stepping out of the spotlight and into the shadow. And really, are you staying true to yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's unpopular, and making sure that you lead like John Adams, boldly, imperfectly, but relentlessly? And that's what the independence of true leadership looks like. Talk to you soon.